Hey guys, Thinking here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And so I know some of these videos haven't been getting the best views, but I really like jumping into this new stage of Infinite Dragon Ball history with different teams to see what can work. And one of the things I've been basically doing is just going into the event, not really setting any sort of filter on the friends list, and just seeing who would come up that could make for an interesting team. So I actually did manage to find a Tech Vegeta from the Super Saiyan 3 Goku Majin Vegeta Dual Dokkan Fest with 3 dupes. So yeah, a 90% Vegeta. And I did manage to get 1 dupe in mine. I was very lucky. I only did 1 or 2 rotations on both banners, as well as the Pilaf Trove tickets. So I got very lucky. So I decided we would jump in with the Super Saiyan 2 / Resurrected Warriors team. As you can see, Cell is here on the rotation. I think he's the only non-Super Saiyan 2 category unit. He is, of course, on the team so that we can get Gohan's transformation a little bit later on into the event. I could have brought a 16, which means you can get the transformation a little bit earlier, but the 16s that you could bring kind of suck. Like the Tech Fighters one, who probably is the best one, is on Resurrected Warriors, but to get the most out of his passive you need to have multiple android allies, which obviously this team wasn't going to have. So we also have, as you can see, the Easy A Majin Vegeta. He holds his own pretty well throughout the event. He obviously increases his attack and defense per orb obtained, and he has obviously very good stats because he's a Rainbow Easy A unit, so he is able to hit some pretty decent numbers. And then we have the physical. See, look, he's taking double digits from. I know we're only in stage 1, but it's a very good start. And hitting a decent enough attack stat as well. Nice big crit to finish off Broly. And you saw in the 3rd slot we have the physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Hey, look at that. We're going to get a transformation straight away with one of the Vegetas. I believe this is my one though. So yeah, this is the 1 dupe one. He, of course, very good, because just like the Goku, based on the amount of orbs that you pick up, he will get extra abilities, and he does gain the ability to guard against all attacks with the right amount of orbs selected, which, of course, he's got decent enough stats anyway, but that really helps him out throughout the event to defend just that little bit better. Because I believe what I'm going to do here on for the most part is run Kale and Caulifla with Gohan, because Kale and Caulifla build up super fast to becoming an insanely good defensive unit. Not only does their defense stack very quickly, but of course once their passive is maxed out, they also have a really high chance to dodge, so they are going to be the main tank of the rotation. And then we're going to try and transform Gohan, not necessarily as soon as possible, because obviously he stops stacking his defense once he transforms. But I believe it is a while until we actually get him to transform anyway. So he keeps a pretty reasonable level of defense throughout the event, which of course is going to help massively when it comes to those later stages. Because I've talked about it in previous entries where we've done this stage with different teams, and it's fun to try out all the different teams, but one of the things that I think is definitely a bit of a drawback to this event, if you want to put it that way, is that the event is just so hard. You can bring a team that can get really far through, and then like 25 minutes plus into playing, you're at Blue Gogeta, or maybe the physical Broly before him, and then you take a type disadvantage super attack, and that's it. It's GG, and that's the end of the run, and there's not really much you could do about that. So you do need to focus on units that can not only stack up their defense incredibly high, but then just like the Vegeta, have abilities that will allow them to guard, or abilities that allow them to dodge, all that kind of stuff. But then of course dodging again, by the time you get to Blue Gogeta, that doesn't do anything anymore. So Blue Gogeta is where we'd have to be a little bit concerned when it comes to units like the Easy A Majin Vegeta. But I mean, you can see this Vegeta here against God Vegeta just not really taking any damage. Plus, of course, the STR Cell, I used him in the almost full Movie Bosses team run to get the Movie Bosses missions done. Not only is he here for the triggering Gohan's transformation, but of course, if we can get his 11 key super, gives us a little bit of a heal. And of course, regardless of which super attack you get, he infinitely stacks his attack and defense as well, which means he won't be a unit that becomes a massive liability like right near the end of the event, which is obviously what we want. We definitely don't want any units that are dragging us down. And to be honest, it's probably the physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku is probably the weakest link here. Let's see how much damage he's going to take from AGL Broly at the end of the turn. Oh yeah, and of course Kale and Caulifla going to shine because almost every single stage of this event, basically everything apart from the 2 Gogetas and the Golden Frieza, you're fighting a Pure Saiyan, so they're guaranteed at least 1 additional super attack. And then my Kale and Caulifla have 2 dupes, so they do of course have the chance to get an additional from the hidden potential system as well. So that Goku at a 1.2 million attack stat, funnily enough, I actually rainbowed him specifically for this run. 8k is actually not bad at all, because out of the 3 Super Saiyan 2 Gokus that awakened, he's the one that is more defensive based for his passive, for like supporting the team, because he gives everyone defense and then he gives Super Saiyan 2 allies attack, I believe, whereas I think it's the AGL one gives everyone attack and only gives the Super Saiyan 2 allies defense. Now obviously that doesn't matter hugely because he's only ever going to be on rotation with Super Saiyan 2 category allies, but I wanted to make sure that we had a decent defensive option. So we just got to be careful when we get to STR Gogeta with him, of course, because he definitely is primed to take a lot of damage from him. So I just want this I want this friend Vegeta to transform as soon as possible, and then I'll swap out my one on the main rotation for him, because he is 90%. He's going to be able to do incredibly well once he transforms. So yeah, look at that, 30k from Broly thanks to the type advantage, very good. And then oh, he locks Cell in the first spot, that's wonderful. Cell has pretty decent defense at this point. I think we can get his 11 key super as well, so he's going to take 1 hit from Broly and then super and heal, and potentially heal us back to full. Just don't get supered. Yeah, see, 60k. His defense not quite built up enough yet, but he should finish him off here. Yeah, he got a crit. I was going to say even without a crit, but we get the crit, finish him off, and then, yeah, see, we're still above 80% HP, so still very, very good. And then God Goku going to seal the Super Saiyan 2 Goku here. That's fine. So Majin Vegeta, the STR Easy A1, of course, he does change AGL orbs to STR. Does make it a little bit easier for him to get a nice solid amount of orbs. And then the orbs drop down in such a way that we can get the 6 orbs for Majin Vegeta here. So he's going to be able to guard, which is what we want. Nice damage as well from the Easy A Vegeta. Those 2 Easy A's, the Majin Vegeta and Super Saiyan 2, the AGL Angel Goku, very, very decent, especially considering they are general SSR pool units. So they are not super difficult to get depending on how long you have been playing the game. And yeah, both perform very, very well. So worst case scenario here, of course, Super Saiyan 2 Goku taking the super attack for pretty decent amount of damage. But as you can see, the team does have like 530,000 HP. So we are in a very good position to bounce back here. Kale and Caulifla, of course, pretty much probably fully built up at this point. So we don't really need to worry about them, even with the fact that they are facing down a tech enemy. So they should be fine here. And then we put the friend Vegeta in the middle slot just because he kind of links better than Cell. We don't really want Cell being on main rotation. But we are getting the Dokkan attack now with Kale and Caulifla. It is their 18 key super as well. So we should be good. If we get a crit, we're going to do pretty big damage. And then, of course, we have the possibility for those additional super attacks as well. We get 1 guaranteed, so we are definitely going to be doing some decent damage this turn. Crit on the Dokkan attack is ideal. Okay, we don't get it. We still do 2 million damage, because type disadvantage definitely screws you over a little bit sometimes, especially when it comes to the Dokkan attack. I think I did give because they can get so many additionals depending on the event that you use them in. Now that I have the 2 dupes in Kale and Caulifla, I'm pretty sure I went full crit with them, but we just got unlucky. But yeah, see, even with the type disadvantage, they're just taking no damage. And then this Vegeta, this is the friend one, so even before transforming, he's still above 2.5 million on the attack stat. Very good. And then we get another 11 key super with Cell, which allows him to give us a nice little heal again. So we are making good progress here. The rotations are messed up a little bit now, of course, thanks to Broly. But it's not going to take too long to get those fixed. Get a ton of orbs for Majin Vegeta again, and then even a ton for Gohan as well. That's the thing, the team does link really well together in general. I mean, Cell's kind of the odd one out, of course. But yeah, we're not having really any difficulty getting super attacks. 140k though on Majin Vegeta. Like, Majin Vegeta is really good with his nuking style passive. His defense can get really, really high when you pick up the right amount of orbs. But unfortunately, his defense doesn't really ever hit the kind of levels where super attacks are going to deal like double-digit damage. So we obviously need to be careful about where super attacks are potentially going to land. So, but anyway, we'll move on to the next phase. We finally get the friend Vegeta to transform. So this is where he is going to start putting in a shift, because 90% transformed. I was talking about the Goku back when we did the Kamehameha team without the fusions as being units that I'm super impressed with and would really, really like to have more dupes, just because I feel like they are both very underrated units. And this Majin Vegeta I feel like is definitely as underrated and as good as the Goku. Obviously I prefer Vegeta, so I'm kind of biased. I've always been a Vegeta fanboy, but the Vegeta is just so good, and I really like his team. I talked about this back when he came out. I think that the combination of Super Saiyan 2 and Resurrected Warriors is actually a really, really good leader skill pairing, because it does open up those possibilities for bringing a Cell or an Android 16 so that Gohan can actually transform. Plus, of course, there's a lot of units that fit into there, like, for example, Super Saiyan 3 Bardock, who's on Resurrected Warriors, and he has Over in a Flash and Prepared for Battle. So, again, it's just something that helps out the team with their links. Because, obviously, one thing a lot of people were very skeptical of for both Goku and Vegeta is the fact that they change Prepared for Battle with Over in a Flash when they transform. So, you can fairly easily build the team around that not really being much of an issue. And obviously there are quite a few units that have both those links that you can bring together. So unfortunately we did lose quite a bit of health, so I very much wanted to no item run this if possible. Plus, of course, I'm trying to keep my defense low, my HP low, so that Gohan can transform. Like, I'm looking at my defensive stats here and trying to figure out, like, can I risk it for the biscuit here? Because if we don't die, then Gohan's going to transform next turn. And that's going to be really, really good. So, Majin Vegeta not taking any damage because we got type advantage. We picked up a decent amount of orbs. And then Tech Majin Vegeta should be okay in the middle. We picked up enough orbs to activate his passive, I believe. So, because his attacks are effective against all types with 3 key spheres, but you need 6 to guard all the attacks, which is why you obviously always want to try and prioritize getting the 6. Because the getting super effective against all types is obviously super useful, because we fight enemies of multiple typings. And I definitely clenched a little bit there. 60k on Cell, but here we go. We are on, what, just over 10% HP? So the time has finally come. Don't get to see this every day. But we are going to go ahead and transform with Gohan. I am, of course, like I said, I'm going to put Kale and Caulifla in the first slot. They're going to be the main tank for this rotation. And see, Gohan's got 270,000 defense. So he's built up to a pretty significant amount. But here we go. Like, this animation is so great, and you just barely ever get to see it. But yeah, I'm definitely reminded from this run like just how good Gohan is once he transforms. Because my Gohan only has one dupe as well, remember. So we change a bunch of orbs, then we can grab all of those. He does get extra ki as well, so boom, 24 ki super attack. And then I am going to use an item, because, you know, it's not every day I find a Tech Vegeta friend. We managed to get Gohan to transform, so this run is going super, super well. And obviously I don't want to throw it away by trying to force myself to do a no item run, because like I said, how often do you see a Tech Vegeta coming up in your friends list, let alone one that has 3 dupes? So I definitely didn't want to throw this run away. But we also have the physical Goku on rotation, so we're going to see probably Gohan's best attack stat this turn. We did get the 24 ki as well, so very, very good. Yeah, just a 3.8 on the first turn after transforming. That's pretty good. And yeah, damn man, that 18 ki animation is so good. But yeah, his defense remains high enough that he's still taking double digits. Like, I feel like super attacks will probably still be bad for him. Like, we know in long form events, if he doesn't transform, he can take double digits from super attacks by the end. But obviously, now that we've transformed him, his defense is going to be decent enough to take double digits from normal attacks. But super attacks will probably still hurt a little bit. But that's not too bad, all things considered, because he's now become a offensive powerhouse. But I mean, you can see there for the Tech Vegeta as well, we didn't manage to get 6 orbs with the one in the first slot, still taking double digits from normal attacks. So very, very good. Unfortunately, the super attack a little bit more damaging, but very, very impressed with how he has performed throughout this event so far. So I'm not even sure, I'd have to double check. It's off the top of my head, I can't remember if Goku and Vegeta have been back on banners on JP, but I'm very much looking forward to them coming back on Global. Maybe if we're lucky, they'll be on the 350 million download celebration banners, because normally those are split into super and extreme type banners. So I'm not sure how they would do that, because obviously Vegeta does become extreme once he transforms into Majin Vegeta, but the actual summonable unit is a super type. So I don't know how they would do that, but hopefully they'll be back during that time, because I would very much like to get up to having at least 2 dupes in both of them, because both very, very impressive. So, but yeah, Kale and Caulifla just continuing to do Kale and Caulifla things. Obviously we're against Golden Frieza this time around, so no guaranteed additional super attack. But we get one from the hidden potential for a normal anyway. And there's a dodge. Like, these two, like in these long events, they build up so quickly to not only having insanely high defense, but then that dodge as well. Now obviously when we get to Blue Gogeta, they will not be able to dodge, but their defense is going to be so insanely high that it's really not going to matter very much. And even Cell, considering Cell infinitely stacks, but because we've had him off rotation, so he's obviously not stacking as fast as some of the other units. So he took a lot of damage from a super attack, but that's fair enough. Like, the normal attacks are still dealing double digits, which is what we want to see. It's only really the super attacks that you have to worry about when you get this far deep into these events. So yeah, Vegeta just double digits from type disadvantage thanks to the guarding. He will need to crit to do decent damage though, but I mean, still 1.4 million, can't complain about that. And then the Easy A Vegeta coming in at a 3 million plus attack stat, 2 million damage crit. That is what we want to see. And then this Super Saiyan 2 Goku, even he's got type advantage this time around, so nice million plus damage crit for him. He's going to take the super, 22k. Definitely can't complain about that. So who do I finish with? Probably Kale and Caulifla, yeah, because their defense is so much higher than Gohan that I don't need to worry as much. Like, if he super attacks in that first slot, that would be pretty bad for Gohan, but they'll either dodge it or just tank it for next to no damage anyway. And there you go, they dodged the first slot attack, even though it wasn't a super. So Kale and Caulifla going to finish off Golden Frieza, and then we can move on to Super Saiyan Gogeta, the STR one. So now is the point where we have to be a little bit more careful when it comes to the physical Super Saiyan 2 Goku. Fortunately, he's not on this rotation, so we don't have to worry about that this turn. But we should be good here. As long as we can get... See, this is a bad rotation in terms of the orb field, because I definitely want all those STR orbs for the easy A Majin Vegeta, but we didn't pick up 6 orbs for the tech. So we got 3, so he's going to be super effective with his attacks. But yeah, see, 20k damage, because we did not get the guard ability. So hopefully tech Vegeta in the first slot isn't going to take the super attack, but well, at least we get the super effective, so we do 1,000,000 damage even without a crit, and he does raise his defense on super, so as you can see, after the super attack he doesn't take any damage. So it's just a little bit of a shame. If we'd had that massive chain of STR orbs available right from the jump, I would have obviously put the STR one in slot 1, but he still did okay. Cell not taking too bad damage, and we're quite lucky here as well because there's only 1 attack in the final slot, so it's pretty safe to just continue to keep Super Saiyan 2 Goku in that spot, as long as that final slot isn't a super attack, of course, because like you look at our HP now, we're at what, just under 400k. I would imagine a super attack from Gogeta on that Goku could easily do 350. So, kind of depends. But Gohan hitting a 3.6. Very nice to actually get to see this Gohan in action. We have type advantage against Gogeta as well. So, we're not taking any damage. And then, yeah, 3.5 million pretty much on the girls. They are definitely fully built up with their passive, but they will continue to stack their defense as well. So they are just going to be absolutely untouchable by the end of the event. And let's see how much damage our boy Goku is going to take in the last slot here. I would imagine 60-70k from a normal attack. We get double super though. Very, very good. Not much damage, of course. Hey, and then he takes double digits. I wonder if, actually, I need to double check his unit, because he might raise defense on super, because he did double super. So him taking double digit damage from this Gogeta is actually pretty impressive. Let me bring that up here on the side while this is going through. So pick up a decent amount of orbs, so he should tank super well in the middle slot. Let me just find the... Let's go to Super Saiyan 2 category. Oh, we're getting the Dokkan attack now with the friend Vegeta. And I can't even remember how many orbs we got, but I'm sure we got at least 3, right, for the type effective. So we are going to do some nice damage here. 2.3 on the attack stat. Come on, Vegeta. Give me some big damage here. Final flash. Let's go. 2 million. We'll take that. So, where is this Goku? There he is. Oh, do we get the additional super as well? Let's go. There you go. So, putting in a decent amount of damage. And then, yeah, Majin Vegeta STR 3.1. So, let's see. Spring damage. Oh, okay, yeah. He raises his defense for 30% for 6 turns. So, obviously, because it's a 6-turn thing, it can stack. So, if he double supers like he did there, it's a 30% raise and then another 30% raise straight away on top of the first one that you just got. So, yeah, that was like the perfect scenario for us for that turn. And worrying a little bit about how well Goku was going to tank. And then, yeah, he just hits that perfect double super and then doesn't take any damage. So, very, very good. And then Cell. Can we get the 11 key super here? Yes, we can. I mean, we're on full health anyway, but it just means if Gohan gets supered or the girls get supered, I mean, I think their defense is high enough that it won't matter. But you can see the Broly actually being able to deal damage to Gohan with his normal attacks. That is the trade-off, of course, from transforming Gohan. Because if you keep Gohan untransformed, like, he is, like the girls, one of the best units for these long-form events. Because he'll just take double-digit damage from everything, including super attacks. But, I mean, he still hits reasonable attack stats as well. But if you really want him to be hitting the big boy numbers when it comes to attack stat, you obviously want that transformation. So, it's very cool that we could get it. I really like this team. The fact that, you know, we're doing well in this event. We've used one item that we pretty much used because I deliberately let myself take a ton of extra damage and came very close to dying just so we could get Gohan to transform. And then ever since then, it has pretty much been smooth sailing, I would say. So, We are doing well here. And then just the fact that at the end of the rotation with Cell, as long as we can hit that 11 key super, we just keep topping our HP up as well, like constantly. So that works out very nicely for us. Can we get the 6 orbs for Vegeta? We can't get the 6 orbs. We can get the 3, so we at least get the super effective. And then we get a super with Goku as well. Yeah, STR Majin Vegeta is just going to be perfectly at home taking all these hits because he's got type advantage. His nuking style passive obviously builds him up massively, and he's able to put out decent damage as well. So that STR Majin Vegeta definitely by far the best link partner for this Vegeta. It's just, of course, the only slight issue is the fact that the Tech 1 doesn't pick up over in a flash till he transforms. So before transforming, the Tech 1 doesn't actually link super well with the STR 1 for key. But that can be mitigated, of course, by the fact that because the STR 1 creates all of his own orbs, basically, it doesn't matter too much if the links weren't the best, because he can still super, and then depending who else is on rotation, if they have prepared for battle with the Tech Vegeta, you can just put the Tech Vegeta in the middle and put them on the end. So that works out very nicely. So we're over halfway through dismantling Broly at this point. We'll go ahead and leave these two in the front slot. I wanted to leave that massive cluster of orbs for Gohan, so we can get another nice big 24 key super. And then again with Vegeta, not able to hit the 6 orbs. So obviously you might notice that there's been a few rotations where we haven't been able to hit the 6 orbs with Vegeta to get the guard ability active. That could be a bit of an issue in certain rotations, depending on what kind of attacks that he's taking. So I can definitely see the benefit of bringing like an orb changer on this team to help him out. But, I mean, you can see we're doing well enough in the run. You don't need it. It's just something that you've got to be aware of. Like, if he takes a super attack and you don't have that guard ability active, you could be in a little bit of trouble. But we're doing okay so far. So, I'm definitely not complaining. I really, really like this team. I've said it multiple times, but there you go. So it's just nice to have a place for Gohan where you can bring a unit that can help him transform without having to sacrifice, like, because I saw when Gohan first dropped, people were literally running like a Kamehameha team and then just putting Android 16 on the team. So he gets no leader skill. As soon as he gets hit, he takes a huge amount of damage, which then, of course, drops your HP low enough, and then you just transform Gohan straight away. Now, obviously, in this kind of event, that will just get you killed, like, very, very easily. So this category coming out, I say this category, this Vegeta with the combination of those two categories, I feel like really, really helped out the AGL LR Gohan to be able to shine, because you don't have to try too hard to build a team around him anymore, which is very, very good. So I'm a little bit concerned about this Majin Vegeta, but we are picking up quite a lot of orbs. We can't get the heal super attack with Cell either, so I'm just trying to be a little bit more cautious here, but I think we should be perfectly fine. He started off by super attacking the Tech Vegeta, so that is actually the ideal scenario for us. I mean, 80k damage is still 80k damage, but it's not, you know, on the STR Majin Vegeta, because that very much could have been run over. Like, even with a decent amount of orbs picked up and a decent amount of defense, super attack from this Blue Gogeta could literally have been GG for the STR Majin Vegeta. Yes, he's still taking about 15k from normal attacks. And then Cell, I don't know how built up Cell is at this point. I don't know if he's going to be okay. Almost 20k. 17 and 14 actually. Yeah, that's not too bad. Saying 20k probably paints it a little bit worse than it is. So we've lost a fair bit of health for the first time, and you know, before the Gohan transformation scenario. But obviously, because the girls have built up their defense so high, we got quite a decent amount of healing off of not that many physical orbs. So considering Goku's only taking 1 hit in the final slot, I felt perfectly safe enough to not go ahead and use another item here. And we should be all good to continue. So additional attack. Yeah, no free additional super, sadly, but they're just going to take double digits. Gohan coming in with the 3.8. So Gohan been consistently hitting like 3 to 4 million attack stats. Very, very good. Obviously, he gets that bonus key from orbs, and he's still tanking reasonably well from normal attacks. So I wonder how much is this going to do? This is probably still going to hurt a fair bit. Yeah, 176. That's still actually a pretty like reasonably large amount of damage to take from a super. But hey, we're all good. So this is a very good rotation as well, depending on the amount of orbs we can pick up. So I'm pretty sure we can get 6 orbs. The thing is, actually, yeah, we don't need to get 6 orbs with Vegeta in this final fight, because we already have type advantage and like the guard, because we have natural type advantage, so we don't need to worry too much about that. It's really only the Majin Vegeta in the middle that we need to be concerned about, because if one of those attacks is a super attack, we will absolutely die. So I really thought I was going to use an item here, because I recorded this immediately when I found the Vegeta friend, and I didn't have all my setup like fully sorted, so I didn't record audio at the time. So I am commenting over this afterwards, and it's the first time I've watched it back since I actually did it, and I'm surprised that I didn't use an item there, because if he super attacks this STR Majin Vegeta in the middle, pretty sure that's GG. So he must definitely not super attack him, because I mean, you're watching this video. But yeah, that was a lot of damage that he took from those normal attacks. So I risked it, and fortunately it paid off. So I'm fairly sure we will be healing at the start of the next turn. Even though I guess technically we don't really need to, because Kale and Caulifla aren't going to take any damage. But there's like no same type orbs for us to get a decent heal off of. See, now I'm wondering, I took that risk last turn. Am I going to risk it again? I'm actually not sure what I do here. Okay, yeah, I do. That is the smart play, because as much as it would be cool to clutch this last turn, like between Kale and Caulifla and Gohan, they might finish him off, and then the item wasn't really needed. But again, like I was saying earlier on, is I don't have you know, a whole load of tech Vegeta friends with dupes standing by to retry the run, so I think that was a wise choice. He did super attack Kale and Caulifla, so they would have been fine even without the item. They're just taking no damage at this point, and hopefully between them and Gohan they are going to finish it off this turn. Let's see. Yeah, no, we don't get a crit, so unless Gohan comes in with the big damage, at least he is getting the Kamehameha link from Cell. And Kale and Caulifla actually getting the additional super from their hidden potential system. So that's good, at least. Do a little bit of extra damage. But yeah, what's Gohan going to get here? Yeah, see, almost 4 million. Kamehameha is one of those links that's being updated as well, I believe. So units like this Gohan are going to be able to hit even harder. Yeah, 2 million on a crit. Unfortunately, I think unless Cell crit, even if Cell crits, I don't think he does it. Oh, wow. He almost did, and he's tanking for double digits, so I mean, fair play to Cell. But let's see, I gotta finish it off with the Tech Vegeta, right? I gotta show off my boy one last time, or am I gonna be cocky and finish it off with the STR Majin Vegeta? Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go for Tech Vegeta. That makes sense. Show off our boy, the leader. He dragged us through this event, very, very strong. I'm very glad I found that random person. It was a random guest, so I don't even remember what their name was. I can't shout out anyone from my friends list. But yeah, Tech Vegeta, very, very good. I know a lot of people skipped that Dual Dokkan Fest, but hopefully the next time they come back, they're going to be on a really good banner, and people will actually be able to pick up some copies of them, because they are super, super good, and I am very happy with how this run went. So there you go. That is the Infinite Dragon Ball History Broly stage completed with the Super Saiyan 2 / Resurrected Warriors team. It was a very fun run. I really like I said, doing this event with different teams. So I'll probably do a couple of different runs on the Future Trunks Saga one when that one comes out as well. But let me know what you think down below. Are there any other categories you'd like to see me try with? I did try androids back on the previous stream, and I've tried it a couple of times since then, but unfortunately they have way too many units, mainly their leaders. They have way too many units that you kind of have to bring that just take too much damage. But let me know if there's a category you want me to try, and I'll see if I can get it done. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord. The link is in the description below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.